Alrighty, guys. Have a question from a customer today. Actually, it was yesterday. And the question was, I'm trying to get an SEO company to work with me for some local business. So basically it's a brick and mortar, but the way that people find you is mostly online and word of mouth. So her challenge was that her traffic dropped after, or maybe around the same time as she changed the name and branding. So she changed the name, she changed the logo, colors, everything, and also changed the domain. Shortly thereafter, she doesn't really know, she hasn't been keeping track. There's no analytics to go back to. There's basically, we're just going off of anecdotal memory or anecdotal facts. So we have to make some guesswork. But for all intents and purposes, the traffic drop, business has decreased significantly. That's just a little bit of background, nothing to do with the actual question, but she got some quotes from different people and they said, hey, you first need to move to WordPress. You can't use what you have right now. So I have my opinions about that, and she called me to ask about that and say, are these people trying to pull a fast one on me? The prices go from 200 up to 4,000. What is the deal here? Well, we'll address pricing another time, but for the most part, I think that the question whether it's WordPress or another website is a question that comes from fear and from inexperience. In other words, the agency is telling you, listen, we only work with WordPress and we only know how to work with WordPress, and we want to move you to WordPress for a couple of reasons. One, so we can magically plug in a couple of settings to our plugin system and automatically do your SEO and charge you a lot of money for that. That's step number one. Step number two is we really don't know how to do anything outside of WordPress. So if somebody gives them a Drupal system, Concrete 5, if Magento, or WordPress.com, Blogger, or any of that, they're basically at a loss as to what to do. They just have no clue. Why? Because they only know WordPress, and so therefore they don't know SEO. They only know how to do SEO for WordPress, which is a great skill to have, but it's to your detriment if you're a business that doesn't use WordPress. Should you use WordPress? I've answered this before. I think you should. But if you already established your business with a different platform and it's working and it's what you use, it's what you know, it's how you run your business, that's okay as well. And if somebody tells you that you cannot do SEO with, name it, whatever it is, in this case it happens to be Squarespace. Now Squarespace is tricky. It has its own nuances and quirks and features that are, it's because somebody uses a Squarespace website doesn't mean they cannot do SEO. What the agencies that say move to WordPress and then we can do SEO, those agencies, they just don't know SEO. They don't understand how that works. Or they are so streamlined that they focus they focus solely on SEO. Maybe it's also their niche. Maybe that's all they want to do. Take Yoast, the makers of WordPress, one of the most, maybe the most used and actively used plugin in WordPress is called Yoast SEO. If take them for example, their focus is on WordPress SEO, but they built a business around that. So there are some reasons why somebody would say, hey, I only do SEO for WordPress, and that's fine. If you already have a WordPress website, then you want somebody that specializes on SEO for WordPress, but for the right reasons. Not just because they know how to plug in a couple of plugins, but because they know how to work with custom post types and special circumstances, the local business versus directories whatever the type of website it is, you want an SEO that's an SEO, not a WordPress. I'm going to move you to WordPress first SEO. The answer is no, you shouldn't have to move to WordPress to do good SEO. Now, if you are hiring somebody to help you with SEO immediately, you can just hire somebody to help you with SEO immediately. They should be able to work within whatever framework to edit your keywords, your SEO content. They should be able to help you with your titles and your proper structure. They should be able to help you get content to get likes and all that sort of stuff. So don't just automatically assume that you have to have WordPress to have good SEO. If they tell you that, it's because one is the reasons I mentioned. They want to be able to just use the plugins, and that automatically puts you ahead of the game. So if you just do that, here's your tip for the day. Go do the basic SEO on your website that any of the plugins do. All-in-one SEO, Yoast, there's a couple other ones. Just go do the basic steps that they tell you to do. Walk through their tutorials. In 2 days, you will be better off than when you started. That's just kind of how that works. And once you have done that, then anybody can help you with SEO. Anybody that knows SEO should be able to help you. You shouldn't have to use WordPress. You shouldn't have to use this other thing. SEO should be able, if the website is HTML, PHP, or whatever, as long as it produces HTML output and even some JavaScript, then as long as you do things right, you should be able to rank for SEO and get it done.